Okay, so this video is going to be about me addressing some allegations that have been brought against me recently that I just want to clear up, and I don't really want to have this shit on my reputation forever. So let's just jump right into it. First and most important thing that I have to address, I do not endorse, look at, or search for, even though it's kind of the same thing, I do not have anything to do with CP. For those of you who don't know what CP is, you're either a little bit too young or you just literally have no idea. And CP is basically child stuff you should find on different websites. And I, all right, so f- fucking dog. As you can tell, this is not scripted, but the reason why this has been brought about is because it turns out that me and a friend did a dub of a comic together by a person who apparently makes CP. I'm gonna flash up their account on screen so you guys can go block and report them. All right, I don't want to hear anything about people coming back like, oh, the characters look upscaled, oh, they look like they're possibly adults now. I don't give a fuck. They're still children in my eyes and in other people's eyes. So yeah, this account that you see on screen right now, go block it, report it. We don't deal with that kind of stuff, especially since they made a Has Been Hotel comic. For those of you who may have remembered that Welcome the Newcomers comic that was originally on here, that has now since been deleted. Yeah, that's basically what that was. I had no idea. Like, I'm being so serious. Here's a chat log from my friend when she sent me the comic. She had no idea either. She just found it. So as far as I can tell, it was innocent to her and to me as well because I don't do background checks on people whenever I do their comics. I've never done that day in my life. I normally assume that whenever you do a comic, you always have like a good, past or whatever the hell. So yeah, don't really assume, hey, this person makes CP, which I really should have in this case. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that I've gotten all that cleared up to a certain extent. All right. Second order of business, my behavior on Twitter/X. That is something that I need to talk about. All right. So recently, this guy named Kai, he has been coming to my Discord saying like he feels uncomfortable about like the certain tweets that I make about like certain characters. Like I made like this tweet about like Nifty and fucking Alistair and him using her as a fleshlight. I know that I just did that out of impulse. I thought, hey, this would be a fun tweet for people to see. People made like a head canon about it, but no, in retrospect, it actually is kind of weird now that I look at it. And there have been several other tweets that I've made like this. One of the ones that he saw like a couple weeks ago was one about Sabrina Carpenter. That's the reason why he's not working for me right now. And there's also the reason of why some of my comics have since been deleted. There have been, as you guys know, I did have some Stolitz comics on the channel, but those have since been deleted. Those have since been deleted. Fuck. They have been deleted since because of Trenchman coming out and saying that he doesn't want to do dubs with me anymore. Will it ever change? Maybe. I don't know if it ever will. But as far as I can tell, those comics are just gone forever. You're probably never going to see them unless you have screen recorded them. All right, so I think that's mostly cleared up. Another thing that I need to clear up is one of the blockings that have happened between me and one of my friends. My friend Bree, who was my Vaggie and Luna VA on the channel, she decided to block me out of literally nowhere. Like no communication, no like heads up, no like wanting to hear my side of the story about the CP allegation that I talked about in the beginning. She just straight up blocked me. And as you can see from this chat log right here, from what my friend had taken away, I gathered three pieces of information from this. One of them is these two sentences right here, talking about her pulling the plug and that it was just time to call it quits, which I basically interpret as she's been wanting to do this for a long time. I personally made her feel uncomfortable with some of the tweets that I've done, which if I have Bree, if you're watching this, I don't mean those intentions. In all reality, my intentions with those NSW tweets have just been like, in my mind, they're innocent. In my mind, they're innocent. But to other people, it seems like I'm a fucking perv, and I understand how that is. I do understand. I take ownership of that. Gotta be a man sometimes, and this is one of those times. And that's kind of a wrong way. I'm just gonna like rant a little bit. That's really the goddamn. That's really the wrongest way for you to actually like go about ending a friendship. Like no communication, no asking them about like what happened and hearing their side of the story, just straight up blocking them and just going cold turkey. Like I hope that's the right term you're using during this. But yeah, that kind of thing. So if you see this breed, can we at least talk about a situation before you straight up block somebody? Like that's just not something that I would personally do. But that's just me. And as for Kai, I have asked him if he would, mind his own business in a way. Basically, what I asked him is that could he please respect my privacy, and he said that he would. So, for the minute, I'm going to be left alone. Do I know how long that's going to be lasting? No, but he knows that I can change. This man could have been a complete dick about what he was talking about, but he wasn't, which I really respect him for. He could have went all out and just fucking ruin my career right now, but he didn't. He actually gave me a chance to try and right where I'm wrong. This is where I'm going to be concluding this video. I'm going to be staying away from Twitter and from posting comic dubs for a while. My Twitter account has been locked, so not really taking follower requests right now. I'm basically just going to be logging out of Twitter for a minute, and I don't know if I'm ever going to come back. Well, I know that I'm going to come back eventually, but for the minute, I'm going to be trying to reconnect myself with the Lord, because if you didn't know, I believe in God wholeheartedly. Let's get that straight. And I'm just gonna try, work on myself to, have some impulse control whenever I see some hot art of a character that I happen to find attractive, instead of just, retweeting it, putting my thoughts out there. I should really talk about that with just like one of my friends who is, normal to me saying that kind of stuff. Because there are friends that I have out there who have seen me say like some freaky shit, and they basically just say, "Oh, that's cool," which I really respect that for. But oh yeah, by the way, do not attack anyone that has been mentioned in this video. Do not go out of your way to try and DM them and ask them, talking about like, oh, these are just allegations. You're lying on Jacob or some shit. Nah, don't do that. Just like go through your day without having to know that these people made these allegations. Just do that. And yeah, this entire thing was unscripted. I really didn't really feel like writing a script for it. I'm really like in like my an open closet in my room recording this shit. Uh, don't really know how to end this off, but stay tuned, folks. Question mark.